They don't say it out loud, but they're all watching you. When you walk into a room, silence follows. Not because you're loud, but because your presence speaks louder. They can't put their finger on it, but something about you is different. Chosen one. There's a reason people are staring, whispering, observing. And it's not just curiosity. It's spiritual recognition. You're being watched in silence because your energy is disturbing something in their soul. Some look at you and feel inspired. Others look at you and feel threatened. You haven't even opened your mouth, but your aura is louder than most people's voices. Your silence speaks volumes. And here's the part they'll never admit. They study you, your walk, your vibe, your discipline, even your struggles, because deep down they know you were sent here for more. You are not average, and they feel it. Even when you try to blend in, you stand out. And it frustrates them, because they don't understand why the universe placed such weight on your shoulders, why you carry wisdom in your eyes, or why storms seem to bow when you pray. It's not just them watching you. Even life is watching how you respond to pressure, to betrayal, to tests. You didn't ask for the spotlight. It followed you. Since you were young, you were always observed, noticed, targeted, and even praised. But not always with good intentions. You see, the chosen one carries a vibration that can't be hidden. It's like walking with a light in a room full of darkness. Of course, everyone will look. Some with admiration, some with jealousy, some with hidden agendas. They pretend not to see you, but they do. They notice when you shift your energy, when you distance yourself, when you stop entertaining what doesn't serve you. That's when the silent watching becomes louder spiritually, because they don't just watch what you do. They watch what you refuse to do, what you've healed from, what you no longer react to. They watch you because they know something divine is unfolding in your life. Even if they don't understand it consciously, their spirit does. That's why you intimidate people who've never even spoken to you. That's why some people hate you without knowing your name. It's not you. It's what you carry. It's what your presence awakens in others. Their insecurities, their envy, their regrets. But here's the truth. You're not here to be understood. You're here to be obeyed by destiny. Your path is different because your calling is higher. And higher callings come with heavier observation. You are being watched in silence because people are trying to figure you out. What's your secret? How are you still standing? How do you carry so much pain and still move like you've already won? They're watching to see if you'll fail. Some are secretly hoping you give up because your consistency exposes their laziness. Your elevation reminds them of what they chose not to become. Your presence makes them realize they settled. You make them uncomfortable, not because you've done anything wrong, but because you're doing what they didn't believe was possible. But here's where it gets deeper. They're not just watching you. They're watching who's watching you. Suddenly, people you never met are interested in your journey. You're being discussed in rooms you haven't entered yet. You've become a silent storm in people's thoughts. That's the mark of a true chosen one. Influence without announcement. You've never begged for attention, but attention follows you. You've never forced anyone to believe in you, but your presence demands respect. Even your silence is loud. That's why people copy you, even while acting like they don't notice you. They steal your style, your tone, your energy, and pretend they created it. But real knows real. And you are the original blueprint. Your authenticity can't be faked. That's why people imitate but never duplicate. You're not a trend. You're a movement, a signal, a reminder from the divine that light still exists. You represent something sacred, something timeless, and that scares the ones who operate in manipulation, deception, and control. They can't control you. They never could. Chosen one, this is why life isolated you. Why you were misunderstood, why people suddenly switched up on you. You were being separated for observation, not for punishment, but for protection. The world had to see what you would become without distractions. And now that your light is becoming undeniable, Everyone who dismissed you is watching. Even your enemies are tuned in like fans. They'll never hit like, never comment, never say your name. But they know what you're doing. They hear about your growth. They feel your alignment. They see you glowing in places they tried to bury you. They see God moving in your life, and it's confusing them because they thought you were finished, but you were just getting started. You've reached the point where you don't need to announce what you're doing. Your presence makes statements your mouth doesn't have to. That's why they study your every move. Some people watch you to learn. Others watch you to plot. But all of them are proof that your influence is real. You've become a mirror. You reflect the truth they try to avoid. You are watched because you're rare. You are observed because you are chosen. People watch you because they want to know how far someone like you can go. Someone who didn't have all the support, who came from nothing, who got betrayed, rejected, lied on, and still kept going. You are the walking proof that purpose is stronger than pain. So now you must walk with awareness. Not fear, not paranoia, but clarity. You were never meant to live in the shadows. You were born to shine. Even if your shine makes others squint, they'll keep watching. In silence, in denial, in awe, but they will watch. Because once someone realizes they're in the presence of purpose, they can't look away. And the funny thing is, the very people who laughed at your silence are now afraid of your voice. They tried to shrink you with criticism, but all they did was push you into evolution. And now you walk with the kind of power that doesn't even need to speak, because real ones feel you before they hear you. You are the vibration that can't be ignored. Let them watch. You were made for this moment. And the truth is, they've been watching you even longer than you realize. Before you became aware of your purpose, before you healed, before you stepped into your light, there was always something about you they couldn't figure out. It wasn't your clothes. It wasn't your voice. It was your spirit, your presence, the unseen fire you carry. You've been moving through life with invisible weight, spiritual armor, and sacred gifts, and that's why you couldn't fit in no matter how hard you tried. You were never meant to blend in. You were built to stand out. So when people looked at you like they sensed something, they did. Even if their minds couldn't explain it, their spirit could feel it. The anointing you carry makes people restless. The light you radiate makes people reflect on their own shadows. You became a trigger for the unhealed. They didn't reject you because of who you are. They rejected you because your presence reminded them of what they were running from. That's why they watched you, to see if maybe you'd break. If maybe you'd fail like they secretly hoped. But you didn't. You kept rising. You kept evolving. And now, they're still watching. Only this time, it's different. Now they watch you in disbelief, because everything they used against you only made you stronger. The lies made you wiser. The betrayal made you sharper. The isolation made you powerful. You stopped needing validation, and that's when your true glow appeared. That glow is what they're watching now. That unexplainable peace, that unstoppable purpose, that undeniable favor. And they're wondering, how? How did you become so calm after the chaos? How are you so focused after the loss? How are you still soft, still kind, still open after everything you've been through? That's why they keep watching. Because you are rewriting the definition of strength. You are showing what it looks like when a soul refuses to be broken. You were made for high places. That's why your journey felt low for so long. God was training you in silence. While everyone thought you were stuck, you were actually being shaped. And now that your breakthrough is arriving, the silence is breaking. The shift is happening. And their eyes are locked on you. Because deep down, they know they're witnessing a miracle unfold in real time. Some of them want to come back, apologize, reconnect. They're watching from the sidelines, rehearsing their words. But it's too late, because where you're headed, not everyone can follow. You're not moving in circles anymore. You're ascending. And not everyone has the altitude to handle your next level. That's why you must stay grounded. Stay focused. Stay chosen. Remember, the more you rise, the more eyes will be on you. Not everyone watching wants you to win, but that's not your concern. Your mission isn't to convince them. Your mission is to complete what you were born for. Let the watchers watch. Let the silence speak. Your results will answer the questions your words never had to. There's a silent crowd watching your resilience, your growth, your obedience. They may never tell you, but you're inspiring them. You're giving others permission to believe again. You're showing people that pain doesn't have the final say. That rejection isn't the end. That purpose is real. That chosen ones may be attacked, but they never stay down for long. Chosen one, you're not just being washed. You're being studied, mimicked, admired, tested, all at once. Because deep down, the world is hungry for authenticity.